All right, here we go.
Okay, round two. I don't know if this is streaming anywhere. If you can see it, congratulations. If you can't, sorry.
Let me
But
see if
we're
I can
doing
pull
it.
it
We're
up.
figuring it out. What
We
are you
are
trying to pull
live.
up on YouTube?
Yeah, it says scheduled. No, we're good, buddy.
Holy shit, that only took longer than it needed to. I think that's the one we just deleted.
Well, this was our first one.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're live again. Then let's go.
Hey man, we're live. So this is again a new podcast on the Pro Tier banner. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
Both
Nick.
teaching with other Nick, or one of us is the other Nick. So
yeah,
we both teach for Max Ordinate, starting a new thing where Nick and I are a little more off the cuff, a little more us on a podcast. So
a little less of a leash.
Hopefully that's the plan, right? So again, just quick overview. I know we did one on the other podcast, but Nick, who are you? What do you do?
I'm Nick Diaz. I shoot guns a lot. I shoot with the team Max Ordinate, and I compete quite a bit. And now I guess I'm doing a podcast.
In life grand.
How about you, buddy?
Same thing, Nick Halbert. I shoot a lot. I do some cool stuff professionally with the Coast Guard, and I guess I am a part of Team Max Ordinate this year. I might actually get a jersey.
But do you have the 2022 stickers?
Dude, I don't. I just not cool. I don't have all of the previous year swag, just what I stole from the range when I was teaching there.
I think I got some stickers for you, buddy.
All good. So what's the idea behind this podcast? What do we come up with? What's our charter?
So I think the idea behind this podcast is to have guys that are a little less, I don't want to say famous because Tyler's definitely not famous. I don't want to puff his head like that, but
infamous.
Little more down to earth, people of the people kind of thing, and maybe not quite as refined and polished. And companies that need to get shit talked on them will get shit talked on them. People that need to get shit talked on them will get shit talked on them, and we'll probably make some enemies.
Hey man, the truth hurts, and some people aren't here for it. So, yeah, I'd say more of the blue collar podcast, less refined. Go. Yeah, we're here to. Huh?
So that'll come into play. We start going through some of these questions we got.
Oh Jesus, I can't wait. Okay, so what have you been doing with the company for the past few years?
So I started shooting with Team Max Ord at the end of 2020, right, kind of the peak of COVID. So 2021 was my first season shooting with the development team. Changed properties. Tyler took his little teaching gig and been trying to help in and fill in and shoot as many matches as I can here and there, help as many people as we can here and there, and kind of landed here with you now.
What great times. Yeah, it's been nice running the whole company while Tyler's been doing other things.
Rock climbing, and scuba diving.
Dude, the guy's living the life while we're out living in the desert just getting after it.
Yeah, we're the bums in this whole scenario.
Pretty much. Yeah, same thing. I've been teaching all the law enforcement classes except for the 2 days of the Blizzard class that you picked up for me. That was tons of fun. And yeah, just kind of trying to grow the brand, see where we go from here. I also try and shoot as much as possible, which is not happening lately with a 3-year-old, but c'est la vie. Cool. Do you want to just kick straight off into questions, or do you want to talk about the last match you and I just shot?
Let's grab a question or two because we're kind of doing some intros. There was one in here. I'm assuming this is your buddy because I've seen this guy on Instagram before, but
oh god,
why did Halbert join the Coast Guard, and where did the Marine recruiters touch him?
I joined the Coast Guard because I was going to freaking community college up in SLO, and I realized it's just high school with less rules, and I figured it wasn't a good idea. So I knew I wanted to get out and do something with my life. I didn't know what that was. The military seemed like a good fit, and I actually joined the Coast Guard to be a crew chief on a rescue helicopter. I had no idea the job I do now even existed, so it didn't exist back then. So that's why. The Marine recruiters were very gentle. They're very nice, especially when they figured out I scored a 96 on my ASVAB. They were all over me, but I only wanted to do Coast Guard things.
What's 96 out of? It's been 20 years since I heard the ASVAB.
I can't remember. I just know it was good. Like the Air Force guy wanted me too. All of a sudden, I was like, "You guys, I'm not here for you." I drove all the way to Long Beach. I drove 3.5 hours to go find a recruiter. So,
so Long Beach is like an hour for me, but you're a little farther north at the time, right?
Yeah. I was living in SLO. I was 19. I didn't know anything.
All right, we'll go We'll go with this one. This one's probably for me because I do know this guy, but we're gonna say it was for you. Ask Nick why he likes tube-shaped meat.
Dude, tube shaped food is the best shaped food, as the movie line goes. What about you?
I mean, it's the easiest delivery system if you really think about it. Everything just kind of lines up.
It is. Funny story. I was actually working. That was my last job before I joined the Coast Guard. I was working at a hot dog stand in front of Home Depot.
I was curious where you were going to go with that. All right, so we'll use this one and we'll roll this into our last match. So I put on Instagram the other day, you have any specific questions that you want me or you to answer during this podcast that may or may not be happening, and now it's happening. So at Russ Just Russ said, have they ever rolled in coyote shit at a match?
I haven't, but I know a guy on TV who does.
So a little backstory on this last match that we're going to talk a little bit about here. Russ was with us, one of the other team shooters, and he's not the most graceful guy all the time. And the stage was dive down, single load 2 rounds, shoot them, go back, run, grab your other rounds, back and forth, back and forth. Well, Russ in his ballerina days tripped over his feet and took a pretty graceful roll, some old jiu-jitsu roll, tucked his chin, curled his back, all the good stuff. And then he happened to roll off of the cement pad right into what we didn't know at the time was a big pile of coyote shit. He comes back up, finishes the stage, and he's got big wet marks on his back and his shoulder. I'm like, oh, is that dip spit? Did somebody throw out a chew right there? Like, nope, that's poop. That's way worse.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was like right at the edge of the pad. To Russ's credit, he tuck and rolled, didn't miss a beat, grabbed his 2 rounds and went back up there to shoot. But that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that was pretty solid work.
I'm just pissed V panned away trying to be nice. She should have stayed on the action.
Yeah, she's a little out of practice with keeping up with us, so she'll know better next time.
Yeah, so that was at the local Paula match. What do you think, dude? Like, what do you got for that one?
It's been a while since I've shot Paula. And those matches, about half the time, I'm like, man, fuck this match. I'm never coming back. And then I give it a month or two, and then I come back. This was kind of the opposite, but ended up with sort of the same result. Usually it's like extremely hard, no way to finish it. This was like, hey, here's one target, move positions 3 times and hit it 8 times or whatever it was. So they, I guess, intended this one to be a little bit of a meatball match. That's kind of what the email leading up said was going to be friendly. It was friendly-ish. How about you? What was your take on that whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, that range is great. It's got a shitload of steel. We're limited by that one firing line to stay on. That was a lot of shoot one target multiple times. Some of those targets weren't super meatball-y, like the stage might have been meatball-y, but especially that little IPSC on stage 1, that was pretty tough, honestly.
Yeah, far off to the left, that little IPSC.
Yeah, and then I'm going to plug my gayness. I love the fact that they're introducing pistol into that because that just means I get free hits and get to shoot fast and show off, so...
They do that 2, 3, 4 times a year, something like that. I've shot plenty of matches there that had pistol in them.
Yeah, I like that.
Like bang this giant IPSC or E-type at 25 yards, and then you can go to your rifle. These were a little bit different. I like the plate rack stage. That was fun.
Yeah, clean plate racks is fun. IPSC at 50. Again, we're limited by the technology of the range, so overall not terrible. We definitely didn't crush it, but it's very obvious we're getting back into the swing of things in 25, both shooting 308, kind of just feeling it out.
Yeah, living life with a 308. I'm going to go do the same thing in Vegas this weekend.
Are you? That's just a regular PRS match, right?
It's not PRS. It's their local.
Okay.
Local monthly.
Precision rifle.
Saturday. So yeah, Saturday bolt gun, Sunday gas gun.
Tracking. Hell yeah.
So if you had to pick a stage other than the plate rack stage, which one was your favorite from that Paula match?
1, 2. I like the run back and forth. That grab 2 and shoot. That's kind of my jam. We do a lot of that in the military style matches for multiple targets, or like shoot target 1 twice or 3 times, shoot target 2 twice, but you only get like, 1 less round. So you got to remember where you are in your engagement stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I think single feeding is a skill that is kind of going by the wayside a lot. It's something we teach a lot on the military and law enforcement side because, you get jams or you might fuck up and that 1 round is what you're going to need to get the engagement done. So I kind of like stuff like that personally, but that's just me. That speaks to my style of shooting. What about you?
That was the one I was going to say, but I won't say that now. The tire stage was fun, mostly because those tires were a lot heavier than they looked. And you could
Yeah.
see the frustration in people as soon as they had to move that first tire. It was, oh shit, this is not what I was ready for.
Yeah.
I worked through that one fairly well, if I remember right. I remember getting to the second to last tire, and I had like 3 targets of vertical wobble. Left and right, I was money, but that was a little bit of a struggle. Took me a second to kind of dial that back in, and I think most guys timed out before they even got to that prone. Having
I'd
to
say,
move those tires.
yeah, on our squad, it's probably 85%. I mean, hey,
And we got to
37s
see-
are heavier than they look.
Well, those are Russ's old tires that he donated to Paula or to the club. What's the main range guy? His name, the guy that runs that place, TJ, CJ,
DJ, yeah,
one of those, something with a J.
He's gonna punch me next time he sees me.
Well, when Russ goes, those are his tires. He takes that first tire off, and he threw it just right, and that thing rolled 20 yards, 30 yards, right in front.
I thought it
of
was going down range.
The devil stare that TJ, EJ, DJ gave Russ was glorious. I don't know if anybody else even saw it.
Yeah, that was hilarious. He just yeeted that thing because most guys are like, like just getting off. He's like, fucking Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, Vanessa just used the big hands and flicked them off.
That was hilarious. Poor V, she copped it the whole day.
She did. She took it like a champ.
Yeah, that's one of the best things. Like, if you're not having fun, man, what are you even doing out there? You know, like if you can't laugh, you might not be hitting shit, but at least you're out with your friends. There's way worse ways to spend a morning.
That is true. Not super expensive, not an overly high round count, so it's not crazy expensive on the ammo side, and you get to go shoot a match with your buddies.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. You want to field some more questions?
Yeah, see what other ones we got.
God.
Most of the rest of them are like somewhat professional.
No, that's unfortunate. That's definitely not what we're looking for on this podcast.
Right? I got one that you can elaborate on quite a bit. Where'd the other one go? All right, so I'm assuming this one's for you because I don't have a tattoo. Why are you so damn good at shooting? Why do you have a Miller High Life tattoo?
I know who sent that. I have a Miller High Life tattoo because I was a 19-year-old living in the Bay Area, living on a boat with nothing better to do with my free money because I couldn't drink. So I just embraced the scumbag lifestyle and thought I was gonna do a whole sleeve of just like weird flash traditional stuff, which I mean, I'm getting there. Like I've got plenty of it, and that was what I was drinking that year. Like I would just crush High Lifes when I could go sneak off and drink underage. I would just go crush Miller High Life. So that was my thing. I am not that. Yeah, dude, totally. Are you kidding me? A privileged white guy from San Luis Obispo. What the hell else was I going to do with my youth? I am not so damn good at shooting. I am a student of shooting, and I try and get as good as I can. It's something I've been into guns my whole life, so I kind of threw all my spare time. Like I say it in class all the time, you can turn anything into heroin. It'll eat up all your free time, all your money, and your family hate you because they never see you because it's taking up your time. Guns and shooting just happens to be my heroin. Get back into surfing and then golf, obviously. But like, you see the boards, like all I do is shoot and go to matches and do stuff. So like, I've got 3 safes worth of stuff. Like this is definitely what I do in my spare time. So I'm not so damn good. Probably want to be top 20 in the nation in any match I go to, but definitely like to throw a lot of myself into it.
I feel like that guy knew the answer to that question. He just wanted to hear you talk about you.
Oh boy. All right. You can kiss me later.
This one's definitely for you.
Okay.
Anything about the international sniper competition?
Anything about it? I mean, what about it? Okay, so the international sniper competition.
It looks like him holding a hunting rifle, so I'm sure anything about it he will enjoy.
Cool. So that's a yearly match hosted by the Army Sniper School at Fort Benning, now Fort Moore, Georgia. Good core group of cadre down there. The match flavor changes as the cadre swaps out year to year. Some of the best years I've been, like their whole cadre went and shot mammoth the month before, and they brought mammoth back to ISC. So it was like bivouacking stages and running and problems, and if you're not in the box it's a 0. So the flavor of that match, I've shot it 4 times from 2016 right up until this last one in 2024. The flavor of that match changes. Benning never changes, so there's just hills and fires and all kinds of fun stuff out there and fire ants. It is great because it's a true international competition. Almost half the field is from outside of the US, which is great, and it's become a who's who for regular Army and Marine Corps. Not so much Marine Corps now because they're killing their program. But for regular
Aw.
Army sniper sections, that's like a great place for them to go test their mettle against special forces, international special operations, inter service, the Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps. We all go shoot that match. Sometimes the Navy will show up, sometimes not, but it's a real great testing ground. And they've done a very good job of keeping it pretty professional. They lost their way during the COVID years. It got kind of stupid, but shooting it this last year after being away for 4 years, I was very impressed with what they did. And I think they got a real match on their hands this year coming up. They're going to make some changes, hopefully, and it's going to be a ton of fun to shoot.
If I'm not mistaken, you were filmed for a TV show one of those years, right?
Yeah, 2017, the History Channel did a documentary on it. You go look it up on Prime. Tim Kennedy hosts, so manage your expectations accordingly.
So let me ask you this. There was a cop team in there that year from San Bernardino PD. Did you know Tim ahead of time? Or
I
do you know
didn't.
Tim now?
I know Tim now. Yeah, we met at that comp. I see him at Paul every once in a while. Really good to see
Yeah.
he's still crushing it and still getting after it.
He's always at the hunter matches ROing, and haven't seen him in a bit, but used to see Tim all the time. He had hair back then.
He did have hair.
That's wild. I almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah. No, the great dudes, they didn't know shit about Fieldcraft, and they admit it on the documentary. Like, they have Amazon ghillie suits with like string, and it was great. That stock that year humbled a lot of teams. Almost over half the field got busted. They had their best instructor on glass, and that dude was stealing souls all day. So that really spread out the top 10 there. That was the final event worth 200 points, and that really screwed some dudes over and helped a lot of dudes, us included, out that year to kind of jump some teams and get into the top 3.
So having never been to a military sniper school, is the stock usually kind of one of those things that is like a make or break thing as far as it's the turning point for a lot of people?
It can be, yeah. It's usually weighted pretty heavily because it's a core task for military snipers still. It's still something we teach at every schoolhouse still teaches stalking events. It's changing a little bit now, obviously, with drones and thermal and what you have to proof yourself as a shooter against, but still very heavily weighted. My guys just shot the National Guard match in December, and I think it was, let's just say, a 1,200 point match. The stock's 200 points, and then the shooting stages are all the rest. So if you zero the stock, you got some digging out to do if you zero the stocks.
That's a solid chunk of that scoring ability.
Yeah, so very much still a key task that they're testing, and I think they should be, honestly. They're just super hard. Like, it takes up a ton of time. You need huge training areas. You know, at ISC, there's 30 to almost sometimes 38 teams. Like, that's 70 people on one stage. Like, it's a lot to manage. So it gets difficult, but hats off to the guys. They keep trying to implement them. They're trying to change them, do drones, thermal, stuff like that. They're trying to keep it relevant, just like we are at our schoolhouses for the current threats that military and law enforcement snipers are dealing with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. This next one I think we can both speak on, so I'll let you go first. What would you like to see happen in the precision gas gun world in the next 5 years?
You take that one first.
This guy's
I'm sure it's competition. Yeah, I'm sure it's competition. You take that one. You're the gas gun pro.
Far from it, buddy. So this one, it's kind of challenging, right? Because each one of these organizations that runs their competitions or their series, they're a business, right? At the end of the day, they got to make money so they can keep putting on competitions and doing all that stuff and make sure guys get paid for their time. It would be really cool if we could see a universal set of rules where there's a new one that just came out and it is completely different from everybody else's. And I've shot the Arizona match and it's completely different from Quantified Performance. And like, it's nice to have a little bit of variety, but you get a lot of, I don't want to say like fighting back and forth, but you get a lot of not so friendly banter between those groups that I've seen here and there. I haven't really been a part of too much of it because I'd probably just tell people to fuck off, come beat me. But that would be really cool. Definitely the West Coast needs to step their game up on the precision gas gun things as far as the series goes. Quantified Performance is cool, but it's almost completely East Coast. Like those Florida guys, Georgia guys, that area, they can go shoot a match every other weekend or whatever within a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Yeah.
I got to drive 5 hours to Yuma, and there's 3, and that's it west of Texas. I heard Reno is trying to start some up. That's a 9-hour drive for me, so that's like 11 for you. That's a little out of my range for a one-day gas gun match.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the divisions go back, I guess, to caliber restrictions. it seems kind of silly to me to have, open division and then a practical or whatever they want to call it, and then like an LPVO division. Well, the LPVO division, you can be running any caliber you want, just like you are in open. So really, the only limitation is the scope. That's kind of
Yeah.
throws me off a little
I could
bit.
be shooting a 1 to 10 on a 6 GT. Like that's not LVPO.
You absolutely could, and guys run 6 arc on a 1 to 10 razor and crush it with
Yeah.
35 pounds of weights on their gun. And
Yeah, no, I think that's valid. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Again, big pistol guy before I got into precision rifle. It's super hard for people to agree on like one set of rules. Like it's always going to be a thing. But PSCL, IDPA, USPSA, IPSC, Steel Challenge, like there's just a million different varieties. I'd love to see, like personally, again, shot Gussman for the first time. I like the tack heavy, tack light, and open. Like I think that's cool. That's a very easy set of rules. It's easy divisions for people to understand. Like no more than this power. You have to shoot this caliber. Like that's super, super simple. 100% agree. West of Texas, we got to get our game together. The hard ones for California because of the laws. Like you can own a gas gun in California. You really can. There's just things you have to do. And I think people are terrified because all Sacramento keeps doing is making new laws that people are going to go to jail for 1,000,000 years on, not realizing most DAs don't prosecute any firearms charges ever. So, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely something we could look into. Again, having run a match in Southern California, I'm going to start helping again at that old property. Like I'd love to put something like that on. If the 22 guys can get their own match, like why the hell can't we have a gas gun match?
Don't get me started on 22.
I just wish they'd pick up their brass. Just pick up your brass. It's not that hard. It's right. I know it's this big, but you chose to shoot it. So just go pick up your brass.
I feel like they should all have to wear like pink shoes because you're shooting a 35-pound 22 with a $4,000 Night Force on top. Like, fuck off. I can't stand the long range 22.
To be fair, I don't agree with the weights. I agree with the optics because to get your parallax to resolute at some of those tiny ranges, you're going to need an expensive optic.
And that's fine. But having a clone of what would be a centerfire rifle at 28 pounds or whatever it is, and like, oh yeah, I hit that really long range target at 75 yards. Shut up.
No.
You don't need 38 pounds of weight on your gun for no recoil.
Yeah, I think at the old property with my Voodoo, I hit LaRue, so 11.5 by 20. I think I hit LaRue at 500. Like, that's a long-range 22 shot.
Yeah. Like, I get it. What it was intended for, at least as far as I understood it, was bringing new shooters in, bringing in women, bringing in kids.
Yeah.
Kind of grow in the community. All good. And then it got just taken over.
Like everything, it's a game, and dudes are going to find like this is my square. They're going to find these little tiny corners to build into where I'm still in the rules, but it's not good.
You see the comment just popped.
Tyler's living proof of Cali laws and prosecution.
But you're still here, Tyler. We didn't have to put money on your books for moon pies.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy. I don't know. He'd either be like block boss or he'd be block bitch with his stature.
I'm envisioning the bars.
Yeah, I'm envisioning he's like mini me when Austin Powers or when Dr. Evil went to jail. Like he's just running shit with a bandana around his head.
I bet you he regrets saying that comment in now.
That'll be fine.
All right, so here's another one that we can both speak on this. This is actually a pretty good question. Tremor 3 for quantified performance.
Okay. Yeah.
Tremor is very hated by a lot of people.
It really is. It's hated in the military, and it's the primary reticle for most of us these days, especially in special operations. I understand the hate for it. I think a lot of it comes out of people have never been taught what all the shit in it is. So they're like, oh, this is just dumb and extra and all this stuff. It's built to shoot people quickly. Like that's the baseline of that reticle is built to shoot human beings and measurements on human beings very quickly. Do I think it's busy as shit? Absolutely. Did it take me 3 years and multiple symposiums and talking to the guy that invented it to figure out what I was looking at? Absolutely. I think it's value add for me just because it's home. When I drop a shot, drag and drop is instant. It's got 12-inch in it. It's got some quick movers if I completely lose my mind and forget what I was doing. Like I can just kind of lead and adjust. So for gas gun, I think it's great. Is it necessary? Fuck no, man. Any modern gridded reticle is going to get you pretty much the same shit as what I just talked about. So it's up to you. Do I think the wind dots are great? Fuck no. Do I use them as reference points? Fuck yeah. Like I'm not doing holds and wind dots 99% of the time. I'm doing holds and mills because mills is there. But if the wind dot's there and it lines up with the hold, dude, put one on each side of the target, pull the trigger. Now I'm doing wind brackets and I don't have to think about it.
It's a fast reference point if you know what you're doing.
100%. So I think a lot of it is people just don't understand it or don't train on it enough.
I don't know how many times I've had this, I guess you call it argument on Instagram with people. And like you said, most of the time they don't understand it. They think wind dots don't matter once you dial and then the reticle's stupid. Well, it's an H59 plus. It's an H59 with more cool shit that you can learn how to use. For quantified performance, do I ever just not dial a stage and hold everything with wind dots? No, definitely not. But I shoot a field style match every year as a team, usually with that wee little guy that keeps sending us messages. I'm shooting a 223, 2650, whatever. He's shooting a 6XC somewhere around 3000. So I got to hit targets first and then he gets to go. Well, the whole time I'm gathering information is for him, right? So I can tell him, hey, I held 1.2 mils. Well, then he's got to know what I'm shooting, know what my gun does, backwards do the math to a mile per hour, and then go to his gun. Where I can just hold everything because I'm quick with that reticle and I've practiced with it enough, and I can just give him a mile per hour. Hey, dude, that one's 9 miles an hour. And then he can do wind math for 9 miles an hour and send it. It saves us a ton of time at that team safari match. We're finishing most stages with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, same. And for the military, we're all shooting the same fucking caliber. Or one guy's shooting 308, one guy's shooting 300 Norma or 300 Win Mag. Like same thing. Hey man, what I hit? I do a hit on 6 mile an hour. Easy day. My gun's a 6, one wind dot. Send it.
Send it.
It's super easy. And again, it's just more data. If it's too much data for you because your little flat brain can't think of it that fast, all smooth, no ridges, like have fun, dude. Then go to whatever. Go to a TMR. Like whatever. I shot for 5 years with a minute mil dot reticle. Like you can get it done. It's all just about knowing what you have and how to use it.
I still have one of those scopes, the minute mils.
I love it.
Surprisingly, or I guess not surprisingly, everyone that has argued with me is like, no, the PR2 is a better gas gun reticle. And I'm just like, there's like 4 lines in that reticle. How do you think that that's a quick reference reticle?
Yeah.
Or the other answer I get is, well, Team NBT doesn't use it and Joe Bruiser doesn't use it. And this guy said it's stupid. I'm like, cool. What's your practice score? Let me see it. And then this.
Yeah. I mean, again, just because X, Y, and Z doesn't use it, I know a lot of secret squirrel dudes that have killed more people than cancer that have used it very successfully. That's what's all their personal scopes are, So I think it just comes, if you're chasing that new shiny toy, hey man, congrats. Like there's a Tremor 4 out. There's a Tremor 5 out. There's a competition-based Tremor reticle out. Go buy that. Like have fun, man. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your fucking money. I'm just saying, if you can get a T3 because some dude thinks he needs a PR2 and you can get 50% off of that T3, go buy the T3.
I literally ordered a scope for my buddy yesterday off a Sniper's Hide with a Tremor 3 because the guy was ditching it for cheap. I go, all right, send it.
Exactly. Like if I can get quality glass because somebody doesn't understand that reticle, I'll go learn the reticle. Like I got that PR2. I've never shot a PR2, but I'm going to put rounds on that through my 5.56 and figure it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not going to hate fuck on the PR2. I'm sure it's got an application. It just might not be in a 16-inch 5.56 gas gun.
Yeah, go fast. It's not there's no drag and drop when you're going from space, or not as much.
Yeah.
All right.
You know me, I like to go fast.
I want to go fast. Especially when it's a bear target. I like to go real fast.
Yeah, just got to watch where you're fucking hitting, bro. Find the sand patch and drop them into that.
Hey. I'm a slow starter. It was cold as shit. And I made the right adjustment to begin with. I just didn't readjust what I needed to.
You did. I also relooked at practice score. I think like 80% of the field got penalty points on that stage. Like that stage crushed almost everybody at that match.
I went back and did the math. If I just finished at the 90-second mark, like at par time, if I just got all my hits at par time, I win that match by like 60 seconds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I fucking butt-fuck that one.
Yeah, the only malfunction I had the entire weekend was loading on the last stage for the unknown distance target. If I had clean shot that, I'd have beat Surge. Like that was 7 seconds. That was the difference between winning the whole thing.
So the ROs on that stage, one of them was Brody, the guy that was on glass, the dude with the big old bushy beard.
Yeah.
So when you ran up to that spool, did you look over at his glass to see where it was pointing?
I didn't. You told me that afterwards. I was like, oh, that's a great idea.
So I looked at his, and I think he knew I was going to game it, so he had it pointing down. So I drop onto the spool. I hear him settle. I kind of lean back, look behind the wall. Boop. Hey, there it is.
Nice. No, I just chased that left hand. I knew it was at the end of that berm because we were hearing you guys hit steel. So I was like, I'm just going to chase that berm out into the desert and see where I see.
Yeah, I had an idea where my 400 hold was, and I put that at the shoulders and ripped it. I think I missed one wind and then hit.
Yeah, dude, I'm literally like that's a story for another podcast, but 2 mils and send it. It's like my SIG line. So I just fucking put 2 mils high center chest, dropped one right at his feet, and just went up 3.5 and just started pulling the trigger.
Send it again.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Questions. Bubble levels, yay or nay? Absolutely yay on a precision gun. Whether you're shooting gas gun, bolt gun, doesn't matter. Your scope's got to be level to hit things far away.
Dude, it's 2025. I can't believe this is still a question. It's like the smarter we get as a society, the dumber we get as a general population. Like, if you're not tracking level, you have no business speaking intelligently about how to shoot precisely. Like, it's 0.1 per 100 per 5 degrees of cant. Like, it's mathematically proven. You can't not be level.
Yeah. Do you have any of those electronic levels and the goofy light up stuff that's all distracting to me?
No, some of the boys on the East Coast have them. They bought them for comps, so they've got them. They're cool because you can set it like it's adjustable, which I kind of like. But I don't know if I like something glowing in my face. So
Fuck
cold
you, Tyler.
starter. That's dude. We're putting it on in your jersey. Cold starter.
That was my name.
Yeah.
If I went back and searched through all the group chats we have about how do I stop being such a slow starter, it would be mind-boggling to you how many times I've written that message. I think we got all the questions except for one. Movers for beginners and 308 gas guns for Ellie.
Movers for what?
Movers for beginners and 308 gas guns for Ellie.
Okay. Why don't you take movers for beginners? You're the PR guy.
Movers for beginners. Inside 400 mil and a half, send it. There's a lot of math that goes into it. Tyler has a little formula. It's 0.6 per mile per hour. Basically, you just got to know the speed of the mover. The janky ways of how many mils it covers in 10 seconds divided by whatever times your time of flight. It gets you close, or you can just mil and a half send it.
Yeah. You got to remember movers are a time of flight calculation, right? Because the bullet has a period of time for when it leaves the gun. After you pull the trigger, it's got to travel whatever the range is. And during that travel time, the mover is obviously not in the place it was when you broke the trigger. So wrapping your head around the fact that you're trying to put a bullet in a box where the target's going to be at the same time, that's like the first one. You make fun of it, but I teach a shitload of mils or minutes traveled in a 1 count times time of flight. That's like the dumb way that I dumb it down when people can't understand the math. Yeah, it's hard to do. The biggest thing is you got to find somewhere that's got a mover and go shoot it. Like that's the only way you're going to get super, super good. And also make sure you understand how wind either adds or subtracts to that mover lead. Come out to our property, wind is definitely going to be a factor on that mover.
Students always ask me, why do you always tell us to just hold wind? Like, well, watching you make a correction and then the wind changes and I tell you, hey, do this. And then we break position, we go up, we dial, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, when do you hold wind? Well, if I'm 5 mils or more in wind, which happens regularly at our property with a 308, or if I'm shooting movers, and then watching the light bulb go on of like, wait a minute, I would have to add and subtract depending on which way it's going. Like, yeah, or you can just dial wind and same hold both ways.
Yep. Yeah. Really, movers, you can read all you want. Go get some professional instruction. Go to a range that's got a mover, or go to find out what match it has a mover. Like Paula puts a mover up sometimes. We're going to use it on the 23rd for our LE sustainment. It's the best way. You got to go get rounds on it. And if you go shoot a local that's got a mover and you suck and it sucks, ask, hey, when we're done, can I shoot at the fucking mover? Like, can I get some reps? Can I get some help? Don't be afraid to ask. Like everything with anything, when you go to a match, do not be afraid to just ask. Like we might look mean and scary. Well, we don't. We look retarded, but like no one hates you. Everyone was a new guy at a match at some point. Just ask for help. Like ask around your squad. Like, hey, how do you figure this out? What do I hold? What did you hold? Like usually somebody will tell you. Just beware. You might get some bullshit.
If you're scared to ask us, ask the guy covered in coyote shit. Like that guy's down to earth to talk to you. He'll talk to you.
Yeah. Ask the girl with the huge feet.
Just don't let her hold your phone. She'll crush it.
She will completely crush it. What was the second half of that question?
308 gas guns for LE. I'm assuming this is as opposed to bolt guns.
Yeah. Honestly, industry has come a big, bad, long way from when I first became a sniper for gas guns and precision and repeatability and accuracy. I don't see a problem with it. I wouldn't make it like your primary. Every department's different, right? In the military, we call it ROC and PO, required operating capabilities and projected operating environments. What are you using your sniper rifle for on callouts, right? Are you going to have to like set up on the Bearcat and then clear houses? Gas gun might make sense. Are you going to be in a hide site, 100 yards away, like max LE distance for most shots, and just be static? Like, what do you need a gas gun for? You need that instant follow up. Like, it's up to you. And then make sure, please, I'm begging you, vet who you're buying gas guns from.
That was the point I was going to make.
Dude, I had a department show up from Maryland, 2 super nice guys, and their tech guy wanted one of these guns, so they went with a builder out of Henderson, I think. Sub MOA accuracy guaranteed. Neither one of those guns lasted 2 days in the law enforcement class.
Too tight or shit parts?
Shit parts, too tight, wouldn't shoot better than 4 minutes of angle with the 8 types of ammo I fed them.
If a 308 doesn't shoot 175 gold medal match, it doesn't shoot at all.
And that's all I shoot. Like, I don't have time to reload. I shoot factory. I shoot federal gold. If it doesn't eat 175 or 168 federal gold, it's a piece of shit.
I don't think Vanessa liked my comment about crushing phones.
Wow. Oh, V, you'll be fine.
So let me ask you this. We'll expand on that one just a little bit. For, say, someone getting just into the LE sniper roles, since you train all those cool snipery dudes, you mentioned follow-up shots. Would you say new LE sniper better off on a good gas gun or on a good bolt
gun? Brand new, no qual whatsoever.
Went to post sniper school and now he's your student.
Okay, so no quals whatsoever.
Go shoot somebody.
Yeah. So no quals because he went to post. Okay. Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go bolt gun all day. Gas guns are great. There are really, really, really good gas guns out there. I've seen them. I've shot them. I own some of them. It's possible you're gonna get a ton out of bolt gun shooting, and your gas guns are a little bit different breed. Correct me if you disagree here, but like gas guns require some things that bolt guns you can kind of get away without doing. Like, especially for large frame like 308s, if you're not the gas gun's master, you're going to be its bitch. It's going to beat you around. It's going to get you off target. It's going to do a bunch of things that a 308 bolt gun of similar quality build price isn't going to beat you up on. It's going to be a lot easier shooting platform for you to figure stuff out on. I get it. There's a lot of departments that think you need it. If you need it, your department bought it. That's great, man. Come on out. We'll teach you how to shoot it. I grew up on the SAS. Like, I know how to shoot gas guns fairly well. But I would go bolt all day if I could.
No, I'd agree with that. The inputs and the fundamentals are all the same, but the influences are completely different. And if your point is to have fast follow-up shots, you got to be on your game with recoil management to even have a chance for it to matter over a bolt gun.
Yeah, and I was just talking to my partner today. Honestly, I can shoot my MRAD almost like with good recoil management and good bolt manipulation. I can still follow through and get a second shot off almost as fast as I can with a semi-auto on anything that's not like a full barn door target. Like anything I have to concentrate on for like a 0.2 wind call or a 0.4 wind call, I can shoot a bolt gun almost as fast as I can shoot a gas gun.
Whatever would slow that gas gunner down just that hair to get that precise shot, you can keep up with if you're practiced on a bolt gun.
100%, especially shooting suppressed and all that stuff. You start adding all the litany of things you can do to make things better or easier to shoot. Not better. There's no such thing as better, but like easier to shoot and manipulate. Like, I see much of muchness there.
All right. Well, that is all our questions that people send in on the Instagram.
Okay.
I think. I'm not good at math, but yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah, people don't like us.
All right. So what's your next match?
For me, dude, I don't even know. Probably a club match down here in SoCal. I was going to shoot QP with you on the 25th, but I got daddy daycare now. My wife's out of town, so I can't do that.
Boo.
I know. Trust me. 2 years. I'll retire in 2 years. I'll be able to shoot everything. Okay?
Did you withdraw from that squad?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that note.
My buddy from Fresno area is coming down, but he got stuck in a different squad. Trying to find a way to get him in my squad.
It should be open. I got the notification. I got withdrawn.
It got filled up real quick, I guess.
Boo. All right. So that's your next match, that QP?
No, I got Vegas this weekend for 2. And then I made some real poor life choices. I go to Vegas Friday, Saturday, Sunday compete, drive home Sunday. Monday, drive back to Vegas for work. I have a class up there with Vegas Metro Tuesday through Friday. Friday's the night shoot. Hammer straight to Yuma, plus a time change. I'm going to get like 2 hours of sleep, maybe, and then go shoot that national level series points match on Saturday.
Dude, you're nuts. Yeah, I'm jumping out of helicopters all next week, so I'm not going to have time for any of that.
Terrible.
Yeah. Cool. What do you got coming up with the company?
January got canceled. We got PR1 coming the third weekend of February.
Feb. Okay.
Yeah, I think the first full weekend of February, I'm in Alabama for a hunter match. And then the weekend after that, we got PR1. And then I think we got PR2 in March, if I remember right.
Yeah. I've got the first LE class of the year, the basic class, the February class, the notorious February class.
Shit.
We've been rained on, snowed on, earthquake. So who knows? I had 40-mile-an-hour winds last year. So who knows what this year's February class is going to look like? But those
Which
boys
week
will
is
be
that?
warriors. It's going to be the second week of February, I want to say. Let me look at the calendar real quick.
So we have back to back. You leave Friday, I get there Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there the 3rd through the 7th, or the 2nd through the 7th.
Okay, that's the weekend I go to Alabama then.
Yeah. And then we got the train up. We got a competition train up day down here March 15th. Yeah. Down here in Paula at a new property, a private property. So that'll be fun.
New?
Again,
Question mark?
new old, under new management, which I love.
There we
Super
go.
professional. Yeah, super professional company owns it now. Good vetting. They cleaned the place up. The range is in really immaculate condition, honestly. So pretty excited for that one. And that's a competition train up. So if you have questions, if you ever wanted to shoot a match, thought about shooting a match, have no idea what you need to shoot a match, that'd be a great time to come out. We're going to start from square one about like basics, fundamentals of competition shooting, how to do stage breakdown, what you need. You can come out and shoot it with a hunter rifle. You really can. I mean, Nick and I both started with nothing but a stock Remington 700. So you don't need to break the bank to go have fun and figure out what you want, if it's something you want to do or if it's something you need. So feel free to come out. I think there's still some spots sign up on that. It's on the Maxord website and the SoCal Long Range Precision Club's website too.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
What else we got? I think we covered pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, this was very clean for us.
And we've been doing this for 40 minutes. Well, this time. How many minutes?
Yeah, it goes quick.
How many minutes we did before?
We did 3 before I figured out I screwed something up. Right on.
Yeah, but
good stuff. Well, yeah, we're gonna try and do this twice a month.
I think that's the plan.
Okay, look for some more babbling from Nick and Nick here in the near future. If not,
making fun of Vanessa's feet.
100%. We need to make fun of everyone on the team. We'll just pick an episode. So we'll pick somebody from the team for the next one to make fun of. Maybe Tyler since he's back in town. Maybe Russ. Yeah, and we'll go from there.
Cool, buddy.
Right on, brother. Well, good talking with you. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, man. I'll take it easy.
Later.